What's going on, everybody? It's Damon here from After Hours Manufacturing Company. That's my new startup leather brand. And today, I wanted to do a video to basically just talk through the builds that I did for my elevated tool bag. And this was done in partnership with Tandy, and they kind of sponsored it. And then through that partnership, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my drawing of the pattern, so you can have all the measurements. And I would kind of say this isn't maybe like a beginner's build, but if you like maybe can make a wallet and you're ready to take your project to the next level, you can just go ahead and step up and get a full hide of some nice leather and really try to make this bag. And so what do we got here? We got the elevated tool bag, 2 gussets, the handle, and a strap. So we're just gonna walk through piece by piece, and hopefully this video, and in combination with the pattern, you'll be able to go through this build. So let's break it down. First thing we can break down is the strap. And the reason why the strap is a good one to do first, and even the straps that are on the bag, is when you get that new hide, you want to take your straps off of the back basically the back part of the hide. So if the belly's on the bottom, that back strip, that's where you want to make a straight line with a yardstick, and then go ahead and take off your straps or whatever straps you'll need for a bag. And that's just a good strategy to be able to get those straps that you need, and before you start laying out all your cuts. So strap, get that in focus. There we go. And so you can see I machine stitched it, 2 layers. And for this bag, I was using a 4 to 5 ounce hide of European veg tan from Tandy. Also with the 2 buckles and the 2 clips and copper rivets right there. And I didn't have dimensions on this one because I kind of just fit it to myself. This was a personal bag, so I made it a little bit longer. But basically, there's that first clip going up to the buckle piece. And you can make that as long as you want. Mine made mine a little longer, but this can maybe be a foot long or somewhere around there. And then you can just make this other part that goes in and connects to the other side. You can just make that as long as you want right there. So let's walk through the bag now. Basically, maybe let's start at the handle. The D-rings are connected just to this loop right here. Same thing on this side. And I just put one copper rivet right there. And I have my length, and the length of this strap will be on the pattern, but again, for an intermediate project, you decide how much of this that you want, and then you make this piece, and you go ahead and set those rivets with the D-rings in there. And so after making that strap, this is another strap you'll have cut, and you'll make this piece right here, the handle. And then let's go and break this down. Let's look at what we got here. The first piece is one whole top flap right here. And so you'll cut this piece out. And also this bottom part, or the main body, is also just one piece of leather. So after you take those straps off, and you can make your handle, you can make your shoulder strap first, you can cut these straps and edge them and sand them and burnish them. You can do all the straps. That can be the whole first part of this project, is just getting your straps ready and making your handle. And then the second part, I would say, is cutting out the top flap, the main body, which is one piece and one piece. And so that's why it's good to have a whole hide for this, because it's really strong. There's no seams right here. It's just one whole piece of leather. And then with the design, these two flaps that are down, we're gonna put those together, and then you can just do one sewing line. So it's 4 easy sewing lines. And then this is probably the big part of sewing right here. And, for an intermediate person that's doing saddle stitch, this might be just a good project to stitch these two long straight lines right here and get some good practice. And again, I use the 4 to 5 ounce leather, and I think that I could have went thicker, and especially for like the strap, I didn't want a 4 to 5 ounce strap, so I put 2 together, which would then be an 8 to 10 ounce strap once it's doubled up. And so it kind of, because I used a thinner hide, I had to double up on this one. But it's up to you if you even wanted to make the shoulder strap. So again, this can be machine stitched or saddle stitched, and I think that it would be a nice saddle stitch project. But basically, if you cut these first 2 pieces, the first thing you do is you sew the top part on. So boom, that's the first step of that project. And then once you have this whole piece, and it'll be all flat, it wouldn't be sewed together yet. Basically, you would come in and find your spots where you need to attach these straps, which you would have made. And I'm putting that rivet down there near the bottom, and that's what connects it to the bag. And we're also putting rivets on the flap, and these 2 rivets are what hold down the handle. And so after you make that, put these 2 pieces together, put your straps on, which you would attach this by, and then you just glue and clip here on each of the 4 sides and sew that together. And that's pretty much the basic build for this bag. And if you wanted to take it a little next level, I put some reinforcement in the bottom. And so because I was using a machine for this, that's very easy to just add in this and do all that stitching. But if you didn't want to hand stitch that, I think that would be okay. And that's why you would just maybe go with a thicker leather. And so like if you did a 5 to 6 ounce veg tan or 6 to 7 ounce, this could just be a solid strap, as opposed to how I machine stitched 2 of these together. You could just have one strap right there, boom, solid piece of leather, no stitching, extra stitching right there. And then these straps, instead of being 4 to 5 ounce, you could have some thick 6 to 7 ounce straps, and have a pretty clean bag. And for dimensions, this build is 21 inches by about 8 inches right there. So pretty nice sized bag. I think it might also be able to go with like a small duffel bag, because I could easily put a couple shoes in here and just, you know, things maybe for a quick day trip. And then one other tip as well is, if you look at my stamp, there's a slight watermark right there. And I think that if I was going to do this again, I might have cut out not right there, but I'd sew a patch on here and put the stamp on the patch. And I say that because when it's on the patch, you can just wet the whole patch and then do the stamp. And so when it dries, you won't really see that there's a watermark per se, because the watermark would kind of be across the whole patch, and the patches might look a little bit darker, but that would still kind of prevent these couple drops that I put on there. And at least, you know, I like the bag to be perfect when you first get done building it, and you know that, of course, this is natural veg tan leather, so any sun, oils, or even just me handling the bag is going to start darkening. And, you know, just anything from the elements. If you get caught in the rain, you're going to see raindrops on here. And that's because this European hide from Tandy, it's just really nice and really clean. And so there's not a lot of imperfections on the leather. And that's one thing that I really enjoyed about the hide, was that it's really clean, and it's not super stiff, but it's not soft either. So it really makes for a nice bag, because it's not a super stiff leather. It has like a really nice hand to it, and it's really smooth, and it just smells really great. And then the other thing as well is just it burnishes really well. I'm not sure if you can see the burnish on there, but that's just using Tokonole sandpaper and Tokonole in a canvas cloth. And you can definitely check out the burnishing video that I'm going to do, just to show you guys my process on that. But that's about it. And you see, when I do my personal builds, I just put in maybe one hole. It's just like my little minimalist design type. Like, I don't need extra holes, because I already know, you know, for how I'm using it, that's the one setting I want it to be at. I don't want to have to guess. So I just do little things like that and just maybe put one hole, so when I strap it up, it's just perfect from the get-go. Yeah. I appreciate everybody that, when I put that request out there for people that had questions about leather, to just, you know, send me a DM or something, and I can add it to my list of videos that I'm going to do, because it really, I'm really excited to be able to answer some of those for you guys. So once again, the elevated tool bag, using the European bend, I should say. I said hide, I think, through this video, but the European bend from Tandy Leather, with Tandy hardware as well. And all right, and make sure you like this video, subscribe, check out After Hours Manufacturing on Instagram, and also follow my personal page at Damon Mark Made It. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Peace.